So, I know I haven't done a video in a while, and when I was thinking, what kind of stuff do I like? Well, I know I like Harvest Moon, and I was thinking maybe there are some people that do like Harvest Moon. So, I decided to take my time and do a bit of a Harvest Moon talk with the new headset I got. So, first, let's talk about Harvest Moon for the Game Boy. Now, this is one that I've actually never played. But what I do know is that the goal is to revive your farm, and you have to do something with the harvest sprites, of course. I guess the only drawback I have with this game is that there's no marriage, and I do like to play Harvest Moon for like all the marriage candidates and stuff, because I do love the dating sim type of game. But like I said, I haven't played it, so I don't really know everything about it. So I'll kind of just set that aside. Next, we have Harvest Moon 2 for the Game Boy Color. This is also another one I have not played yet. Apparently the goal is to help the village or whatever, and also there's no marriage in this one. So of course I didn't really get into that one. But I feel like that one could also be good. But like I said, I usually play games they have like a marriage option and stuff like that. Next we have Harvest Moon 3 for the Game Boy Color as well. Now this, as I said, this one I've also have not played yet. And as usual, the goal is to save the farm. But apparently when I was reading the information about this, it said that there are two games in one. As I said, I have not played this game yet, so I don't really know what they mean by two games in one. But I heard that there's like a boy and girl gender that you can play as and all that. Next is Harvest Moon Saving the Homeland. And I think this one was on PlayStation 2, I want to say. I don't remember. But, of course, I've not played it because I do not own any type of PlayStation. And instead, you save the island this time. There is no marriage system, but there are apparently 9 different endings. Now, I'm not too sure what you do in this game, but I think like the game, like in the end game time lasts for about a year. So I guess it depends on how much work you do in order to get the best endings. Now, I would talk about Harvest Moon A Wonderful Life, but I like to play as a girl, so I'll be talking about Harvest Moon Another Wonderful Life. I do not own this game on the console, but I have it on emulator, but I'm planning on buying, like, the real game for the system. And basically the goal is just to live out your life, pretty normal, and you have to get married, and so you can go on to the next chapter. The characters were really interesting. There's like this one character, like he's like a homeless guy named Murray or something like that. And when I first played it, I got so scared. I was like, who is this guy? Like, get him away from me. I would run away from him every time. And I've already proposed to Rock. If you don't know him, he's a really lazy guy that doesn't work or anything. But so far, I like the game, and I want to own it. And again, I would talk about Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town, but as I said, I like playing as a girl, so I'll be talking about more Friends of Mineral Town. I have it on emulator, but I have not played it yet, and I'm not too sure what the goal is. I think it's like, was it to save the town or something? I have no idea. I don't even remember. But so far, from what I've seen, the game seems really, really interesting. I think one of my friends said it was one of her favorite games as well. And so far, the only two bachelors I like are Gray and Doctor. So, I'm into those serious guys. Next is Harvest Moon Magical Melody. Now, I have this on emulator, and I have played like the starting cutscenes and everything. Like, I get the part where you get like your first note, which is just your first step. And I made a joke saying, what happens if you get a note every time you take a step? I thought that would be kind of funny. I'm interested in the Bachelor Alex. I think he's the doctor. But I also like Jamie, but I think that you can't really play the game because, like, after you marry him, because basically the game ends right when you marry him. So I thought that was really disappointing, and I wanted to kind of have a life with him, but I guess I can't really have that. So that was Magical Melody. Now, Harvest Moon DS, I will talk about the girl version, which is Harvest Moon DS Cute. Like, Harvest Moon DS, yada yada yada, but we're going to do the cute version. I own it on emulator, but I haven't really started it yet either. And I did look up the bachelors and stuff, and I like Sky so far. He's a special bachelor. I think he's a thief. And when I first started this game, I had no idea what I was supposed to do. And after all the cutscenes, like the Harvest Goddess, I seriously started playing the game, and I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I really have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Next is Harvest Moon Island of Happiness. Now, this is one I actually own on a DS, and I have not started it yet. I want to, but I'm working on Tale of Two Towns, which I'll be talking about in a few minutes or so. And the two bachelors I'm trying to decide between is Pierre and Vaughn, because I think they're both really attractive and they're kind of my type of guys. But I think Island of Happiness is about I think you save the island or something like that. I really don't remember, but I think that's what it's about. Now we're getting into some games that I'm not really interested in. So here's Harvest Moon Frantic Farming. I do not own it, and I'm not really interested in it either, but it's basically a puzzle game, and that's all I can really say about it. Like I said, I didn't really care for how it sounded. Next is my first Harvest Moon game, is Harvest Moon Animal Parade. Now, I remember watching my friend play this one time, and I loved it. And I ended up buying it and everything. And I laughed at this game because there's so many typos and stuff, especially whenever you marry Julius, like at the church. His name is like Julian, I think. Like they messed up his name. And so far, I've married 4 bachelors. Like I have a New Game Plus on my second file, so that's why I married another one. So next is Harvest Moon Sunshine Islands. Now, I own it on emulator, but I have not played it yet. I still like Pierre and Vaughn. And apparently there's like different additions to the game. I think there's like something about how you can customize things. I'm not too sure. I didn't really read too much about it. But I thought that was pretty interesting, and I might try that out later. Okay, Harvest Moon My Little Shop. This one I do not want to play, and I'm not interested in it, but it's apparently on the WiiWare store. I have no idea what it's about, but I didn't really want to try it out. So, Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar. Now, this one I own on emulator for now, and I really, really like it so far. And I think it's really, really fun, actually. And I would recommend it, but I think it's on 3DS. I'm not too sure. And I like Amir and Lloyd so far, but I don't know. I'll have to keep going. Next is a game that I do own on the DS, which is Harvest Moon Tale of Two Towns, which I have said earlier. And I also own it on an emulator. And so far, I really have enjoyed the game. I'm not too far in it, but I love it. I forgot how to pronounce his name, the violin guy, Mikhail, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it. But I did have a funny moment with the mayor when I first started. I was playing the game and my stepsister was here with me. And when I first saw like the mayor of Konohana, it was Ina. And I thought it was a dude, and I was like, he is pretty attractive. And then later on, whenever I talked to like the mayor's son, he said, oh yeah, Ina's my mother. I was like, oh crap, like that's a woman. I felt really bad, but it was really funny. So I guess that's one of my funny moments with Harvest Moon. And finally, we have one of the newest ones, which is Harvest Moon A New Beginning. Now, this is one I do not own in any way. I want to own it, and I still like Amir. And the game features are really good this time. They have a lot of customization, a lot of things with pets, some things with marriage and everything. It's just crazy. And so far, I really, really like it. But, that's actually all the games. Now, I did want to mention like a few funny moments I had with the game. An example is, I think it was in Magical Melody. You're always able to name your farm. Well, I think this is the one that has like the longest title for it, and I named it Hueco Mundo from Bleach, because that's my favorite anime. So it's just Hueco Mundo Ranch. And there's a lot of Bleach jokes in my games and all that, so If you don't really know Bleach, you probably won't understand anything that I might mention. Let's see, what else is there? The DS one I mentioned was pretty funny. Animal Parade, that game is so glitchy. I love it though, but there's so many things wrong with it. I really do like it though. It's really fun, but there's a lot of like typos and stuff like that. And it's like I said, it's a good game, but typos everywhere. Okay, so really that's going to be it for now. I will be making another video later about something else. I haven't really decided yet, but whatever. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If it's probably boring, it's my first one using a microphone. Anyway, if you like, leave a comment, like, or whatever you want to do. I don't really care. And I will see you later, so good day.